I saw the reflection before I heard the scream. Not the blade itself, but her distorted face in the metal, trembling, red lipstick smeared against her teeth as she hissed, "You stole my life and my babies." The laughter in the room cut off instantly. Balloons bobbed, vanilla frosting hung heavy in the air, and all I could think was how absurd she looked. My older sister, her belly swelling beneath a lavender dress, shaking with rage and holding a cake knife like it was a weapon. That was 9 months ago. Last week, the police opened a storage unit on 8th Street. Inside, a finished nursery, 2 cribs, pastel-painted walls, a rocking chair, the names of my unborn twins written in careful gold script across one wall. We were painfully close once. I followed her like a shadow, copied her handwriting, her hair, even the way she laughed. She used to call me Mini-Me. At her wedding to Tom, I cried with joy. She shone, and I believe happiness belonged to her. Then Tom started calling me. Innocuous at first, were questions, opinions about the house, small things. It seemed harmless until it wasn't. It began with a drunken kiss at Mom's birthday. I pulled away. He didn't. The next day, I told him to forget it. He said he couldn't. I should have told her. I should have disappeared. Instead, I stayed, because a quiet, dark part of me wanted to see what would happen if I didn't. She found out 6 months later. Not from me, not from Tom, but from a friend who'd seen us in a cafe. I will never forget the look on her face. Brittle, silent fury, like porcelain cracking. She didn't scream or sob. She stared and said, "You always wanted my life. Now you have it." 3 weeks after that, she announced she was expecting twins. I hugged her, smiled, and said, "Congratulations." 2 months later, I discovered I was pregnant too. Same father. Tom was the sort who craved control, but fled responsibility. When he learned both of us were carrying his children, he panicked and vanished, leaving wreckage behind as if it were habit. That's when she snapped. At her baby's shower, she'd been on edge all day, jittery, distant. The pastel decorations, the cupcakes, the silly games didn't reach her. She looked at me like she could see the pulse beneath my skin. When I moved to soothe her, she lunged and grabbed a knife. Guests screamed. Someone dialed 911. She didn't wound me. She froze mid-swing, hand shaking. By the time police arrived, she was sobbing into the cake. They took her to the hospital for evaluation. I didn't press charges. I told everyone she'd had a breakdown. Hormones, stress, the perfect little sister covering for her. But that night, something in me shifted. Hearing her accuse me of stealing her life made me decide to take it back, piece by piece. I started small. I called her doctor, posing as an assistant, and had her patient files sent to my new address, a clerical mix-up, nothing more. I persuaded her landlord she intended to break the lease. I arranged for the landlord to believe she was moving in with family. I contacted the adoption agency she'd quietly approached after Tom left and anonymously told them she was unfit. By the time she was discharged, she had no doctor, no apartment, and no route to place her baby for adoption. She moved in with Mom, who by then believed every warning I planted, that my sister was unstable, delusional, dangerous. I made sure of it. Meanwhile, I constructed the life she'd imagined. A nursery with matching cribs, a nameplate on the door, the same name she had whispered to her unborn children. I kept it secret. I wanted her to discover it herself. 9 months after the shower, she followed me one evening. I knew she would. She'd been leaving notes, showing up at my clinic, whispering to neighbors that the twins were hers. So I let her watch me unlock the storage unit. I let her see me walk out, carrying a box of baby clothes with a smile. The next morning, she broke in. The police were already watching. I had reported her days earlier, told them she'd threatened me again, that she was stalking me. They found her curled in that nursery, clutching a tiny blanket with my twins' names stitched on it. She offered no resistance as they took her. She only kept whispering, "They were supposed to be mine." I visited her yesterday. The hospital smelled of bleach and regret. She seemed smaller now, hair cropped short, eyes hollow. At first, she didn't recognize me. Then recognition came, and she smiled faintly. "Are they beautiful?" she asked. I nodded. "They are." She reached for my hand, fingers trembling. "You win," she murmured. I squeezed her hand once, leaned close, and whispered, "No, sister,